What's up, everybody? This is Justin Flinner coming to you live from Northern Virginia with the Justin Flinner Podcast by My Metro Medicine. This week's podcast, I want to talk to you about burning your candle at both ends. If you are the person who is sitting on the beach right now, staring at the ocean, listening to the waves, you probably made the decision months ago to take this vacation because you knew at this point you would be burned out. You knew that you would have worked so hard and that you would deserve a nice vacation, whether it's by yourself or whether it's with your family and your friends. You needed some time to rest, and this was the perfect month to do it. I mean, why not? This is when everyone else takes their vacation, isn't it? Well, let's take a look at that idea of burning the candle at both ends. Through the lens of Oriental medicine, when we are born, now even before that, when we are conceived, we are given a certain amount of energy from our parents. That's how we form into the person that we are today. That's how we are formed into the embryo that turns into the baby that is born, that grows and develops over time. If, going back to the point of being conceived, if the health of our parents is affected in any way, and I mean if our parents are burning their candles at both ends, if they are not in a good state physically, mentally, emotionally, if they're at a very stressful point in their life and they're trying to conceive a child, or if they are at a late stage in their life, say 60s and 70s, and they are lucky enough to bear a child at that point in their life, chances are the amount of, we use the word essence, but I'm just going to say energy for now. The amount of energy that you have is determined by how much your parents provide you at that point of conception. So, you're born, you start to crawl a little bit, you start to take your first steps, you start to run, you start to jump, you start to grow into a young adult and now into an adult. Whatever stage of life you are in right now, think of how much energy you have. And think of how much energy you used to have. Do you still have that same amount of energy? How have you been burning that energy? How have you been using what you were gifted early on in life? As a practitioner of Oriental medicine, I have a lot of patients that come in who work their rear ends off from day in to day out, from morning to night. 8 days a week, 30 hours a day. They just destroy themselves by engulfing themselves in this amount of what they think is something they have to do. They are required to do. They get so involved in it that it's very difficult for them to separate. And then, of course, the first thing to suffer is their health. And they don't do anything about it early on. They just wait until something collapses. And it's inevitable. It's going to collapse. So when someone begins to burn the candle at both ends early on in life and doesn't stop, they will start to have signs of, say, hair loss at a very young age, or premature graying of their hair, or maybe even a bone disorder. The structure of their body that is meant to hold them up has been worn down so much that their body has no other choice than to pull from its reserves. It has no other choice but to say, okay, this is what you want, we'll give it to you, but you're going to pay for it in the end. So if you are, in fact, one of these individuals and you're burning your candle at both ends, chances are you might start showing some of these signs. And there are others where these come from. These aren't the only signs that you need to look out for. For example, we all know at least one person in our lives that when they tell you their age or when they told you their age, you probably were stunned because you thought, wow, this person looks a lot older than the age they just told me. Someone who is 30 looks like they're almost 50, or vice versa. Someone who's 50 looks like they're 30. I mean, how does that happen? Well, through the lens of Oriental medicine, again, you are gifted with a certain amount of energy or essence that will define exactly how healthy you will be for the majority of your life, how long you will be able to sustain the use of energy at a nominal rate throughout your life. But the moment we start to pull from our reserves after burning what it is that we have replenished on a daily basis, this is when we burn the candle at both ends, and over time, our bodies will suffer. Our minds will suffer. And the organ system responsible for maintaining this reserve is considered to be the powerhouse of our body. It is the one that holds this reserve. It is the one that stores the energy and then disperses it out so that we do have enough to work from. It is also the one in times of dire need that we pull from so that we can actually survive, not just thrive, but survive. So burning your candle at both ends, it may be working for you now, and that may be the reason you're out there sitting on the beach and enjoying your vacation. But you better re-examine exactly what it is that you're doing in your life and exactly how much energy you're putting forward into the things that you think are necessary and important. If you're not sure what it is that you need to do, then I suggest you go to last week's podcast called Break Your Patterns. Examine the patterns that you have and the habits that you have developed over time that help determine the actions that you take in your life. When you can re-examine these patterns, you get to re-examine exactly what works for you and what doesn't work for you, and eliminate the things that don't work for you. Now, I want to take this a little further, and I want to examine this from the perspective of someone who actually, every moment of their life, focuses on living their dream, living their passion, doing what it is that they actually love, or finding a way, even if it's a thing that they are not ultimately passionate about, but finding a way to truly enjoy what it is that they do, to truly understand that, you know what, I only have one life, and this is my only opportunity to enjoy what it is that I have been gifted with. So I'm going to make the best of it. The people that live their life this way and still burn the same amount of energy and burn the candle at both ends, they are the ones that aren't actually limiting themselves by what lies between both ends of the candle. They are actually discovering a way to replenish the wax that lies between both of the wicks. They are the ones that can rebuild the wax in that candle so that it doesn't matter how much they are burning. They know what builds inside of them even more reserves that strengthens the body from the inside out, that strengthens their mind, that strengthens their spirit, that gives them direction, something that they can pull from that allows them to understand that, yes, this is what I am meant to do, and I will give my full amount of effort. I will put my heart into every action that I take. I will not say anything that I don't mean. I will not do anything that I don't believe aligns with my purpose here in life. The individuals that burn their candle at both ends, that see life from this perspective, I believe, are not ruining the amount of essence and the amount of energy that they have been gifted with. They have discovered a method to sustain what it is that they have, and they know exactly when and where and how they need to deliver their energy. and in what manner. I'm sure you have been in the presence of someone who knows exactly what they want in life, who knows exactly who they are in life. Those individuals, you might be one of them, and I hope that you are. If you aren't yet, then you will. If you follow these methods, then you will get there one day. Work hard, keep yourself on track. The moment you can understand that your candle may be limited, but you are able to fill in the space between, you are able to replenish that space, you have built a sustainable habit, a sustainable pattern that fits your expectations, that fits your standards of how you see the world and how you see yourself contributing to the world. It does not matter what negative situation you encounter in your life. You will have the ability to stand up to it and put your best foot forward. And even if you fail, you will discover a way to say, you know what, I'm just going to keep going. This is a little bit of a chunk out of the center of the candle I am burning right now, and I will figure out a way to honor that and to replenish that space so that I can continue moving. And I have learned my lesson, and I will make sure that it never happens again. So coming back to those who are in fact burning the candle at both ends and taking that time to rest out on the beach, out during their vacation, this is your chance to discover the space between the burning of the candles at both ends, the space between the wicks on one end and the other end. What is that space? And what is it that will replenish the amount that you are slowly burning away? If you can figure this out, if you can understand why it is you were doing what you were doing, if you can understand what it is that is your passion in this life and how you can live it every single day, no matter where you are, no matter who you are with, then there will be no such thing as burning your candle at both ends. By living the life that you want to live and not having any regrets and not focusing on the judgment or the criticism that other people provide you in your life, by living this kind of a life, the one that you want, the one that you know you were meant to be living, you will have understood that there is no such thing as burning the candle at both ends. There is only just burning the candle. We all know that will be that flame will be extinguished at some point. That's inevitable. We can't prevent that from happening. But what we can prevent is the idea of focusing on the negative aspects of our lives, because they don't actually exist until we allow them to be there. When you focus in on the opposite, when you focus in on the positive aspects of your life, and you adopt the practice of positivity, this concept of burning the candle at both ends is just a concept. There is no such thing as burning the candle at both ends when you really look at it. It's just the burning of the candle. That's the way it is. So when you understand that this is the life that you want to live and you begin to burn your candle that way, the only person that can put out that flame is you. And that's the moment when your life comes to a close. So during that process and before that time comes when your life comes to a close and your flame is about to be extinguished, how much candle will you actually have left? So now is the time to take a look at your life and ask yourself, am I doing the things that I am meant to be doing? When my vacation is over, will I be satisfied with where I am going next? Or will I be the person that shows back up at work and says, oh, it is so hard to adjust to coming back to work. I mean, just back to the grind, back to the grind. You're grinding your life away. You're burning your life away. These metaphors that we put in our brains detract us from understanding that we have the potential to make a positive outcome, to work in a positive way, to live in a positive way, to vacation in a positive way. Stop burning your candle from both ends and start living your life. Forget about the candle. Forget about the burning. Just live the life that you are meant to live. And you will be able to put your energy, put your essence of who you are into everything that you do. You will be able to understand how to replenish your reserves. You will be able to understand how to burn the right amount of energy that is for you, that is for what it is that you believe in. So, if you are on the beach right now, this is your chance. If you're on vacation, hiking in the woods, or you're off traveling in some foreign country, examine yourself right now. Take a look at your life and say, this is not the way that I should be living my life. I can do this better. And this is how I am going to do it. Search for what that is, focus in on it, and take action towards living it. And I guarantee you, you will never feel like you are burning your candle at both ends again. You will feel blessed. You will feel fulfilled. Your life will have meaning. You will have purpose. You will have direction. And you will know exactly where you are meant to be and where you will go next. I really hope that every person that listens to this podcast, I really hope that you will understand the importance of this message. I really hope that you will understand that it is up to you. No one can do this for you. Everything you do in your life is completely up to you. Do not depend on others. Do not depend on your colleagues at work. Don't depend on just your family and your friends. Every action that you take, your understanding of how you will live your life is completely up to you. You can only get influenced by outside people, by outside things. But the decision to act comes only from you. So I implore you to take this message seriously and to take action immediately. Your life is limited. Don't burn it away. This is Justin Flinner, and this is the Justin Flinner Podcast by My Mentor Medicine. I wish you all a wonderful rest of the summer. I'll see you next week. This podcast is brought to you by My Mentor Medicine, an organization that is dedicated to helping people improve their lives by learning to empower themselves and take control of their own life. Any form of reproduction or distribution of this podcast is strictly prohibited. Should you have any questions on using this podcast or information that is contained within this podcast, please write to info@mymentormedicine.com.